Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
So welcome back to our alley review series practice quiz, and this is now part 18 of our history and theory of architecture quiz. So instructions before proceeding with the quiz: it is best to get a piece of paper muna, cut lengthwise, and then write down numbers 1 to 30 so that when you are ready, you can now start with the quiz, and for every question, write down the corresponding letter of your best choice or answer from the multiple choice. And you will be given 10 seconds to finalize your answer. At the end of the quiz, count the total number of your correct answers and check your score rating. So if you are now ready, good luck. Number 1. Who was the architect of the Dome of Rock? A. Frederick Catherwood, B. Abdul Malik, C. Mimar Sinan, and D. Filippo Brunelleschi. And our correct answer is letter B, Abdul Malik. So although he was not the architect in the hands-on design sense, Caliph Abdul Malik commissioned and oversaw the construction of the Dome of the Rock. It was built in 691 CE. In 1833, Frederick Catherwood, a British architect and artist, became one of the first Westerners to enter and draw the interior and exterior of the Dome of the Rock in great detail. So while not as much is known with certainty, Islamic historical sources traditionally attribute the architectural planning to Raja ibn Haywa and Yazid ibn Salam under the Caliph Abdul Malik. Number 2. Who was the architect of the Robbie House? A. Frank Lloyd Wright, B. Le Corbusier, C. Carl Gold, D. Philip Johnson. And our correct answer is letter A, Frank Lloyd Wright. The Robbie House is considered one of Wright's masterpieces and a prime example of American residential architecture. The style is Prairie School, known for its horizontal lines, flat roofs, and integration with the landscape. So number 3, who was the architect of the Shuttle Museum? A. I. M. Pei, B. Aldo Rossi, C. Mies van der Rohe, D. Robert Venturi. And our correct answer is letter D, Robert Venturi. So the architect of the Shuttle Art Museum that is in the downtown location is Robert Venturi, in collaboration with his firm Venturi, Scott Brown and Associates, and in partnership with LMN Architects. Number 4. Who was the architect of the Bank of China and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? A. I. M. Pei, B. Frank Lloyd Wright, C. Richard Rogers, and D. Victor Horta. And our answer is letter A, I. M. Pei. He designed the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong, this one, which is modernist with angular geometry and a strong structural expression, and considered one of the most iconic skyscrapers in Asia. He also designed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this one, in Cleveland, Ohio, which features a striking glass pyramid, blending modern geometry with symbolic cultural significance. What is dominant in the work of I. M. Pei? A. Use of glass and steel, B. Use of triangle, C. Use of geometric form, and D. Use of tensile structure. And our correct answer is letter C, use of geometric form. So while the use of glass and steel and the use of triangles are true of many of his works, the most dominant overarching theme is the use of geometric form. Triangles are very visible and recurring motif, but they are part of his broader design language of geometric forms like pyramids, cubes, and prisms. So use of geometric form is considered more comprehensive and correct academically or in exams. IMP's architecture is characterized by a distinct preference for clean geometric shapes like triangles, squares, and rectangles, often creating a visually striking and modern aesthetic. Number 6. What shape is prominent in the Bank of China and Louvre Pyramid? A. Rectangle, B. Square, C. Triangle, and D. Circle. And our correct answer is letter C, triangle. So while the base of the Bank of China Tower might appear rectangular from certain angles, its defining feature is its triangular design with numerous glass panels forming a triangular pattern throughout the building. The Louvre Pyramid, of course, is also a pyramid which is a triangular shape. Number 7. What is the architectural character of the Metropolitan Theater in Manila? A. Postmodernism, B. Art Nouveau, C. Art Deco, and D. Eclecticism. And our correct answer is Art Deco. So the Metropolitan Theater in Manila is designed by Juan Arellano and completed in 1931, is Art Deco with Philippinized motifs. It features stylized floral and geometric patterns, stained glass, zigzag, and step forms, and indigenous elements such as local flora and fauna integrated into the ornamentation. Number 8. Distinctive feature of Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater. A. Overhanging slab, B. Falling water, C. Cantilever, and D. Steps. And our correct answer is C. Cantilever. So the cantilevered terraces of falling water dramatically extend over a waterfall, integrating the house with the natural landscape. Wright used reinforced concrete cantilevers to achieve the illusion of the house floating above the falls. This design emphasizes his philosophy of organic architecture, harmonizing the built environment with nature. Number 9. In the falling water, what is the function of the overhanging slab? A. Bedroom, B. Terrace, C. Living room, and D. Dining. And our correct answer is letter B. Terrace. So the overhanging slabs in Lloyd Wright's Falling Water primarily serve as terraces. These cantilevered terraces extend over the waterfall, creating dramatic outdoor spaces that connect the house with nature. Number 10. What year was the Sears Tower built? A. 1969, B. 1973, C. 1950, and D. 1892. And our correct answer is letter B, 1973. The Sears Tower, now Willis Tower in Chicago, was completed in 1973 and designed by Bruce Grahamoff of Skidmore, Owings and Merrill. It was the tallest building in the world from 1973 to 1998. Number 11. If the Greeks introduced the concept of proportion during the classical period, who was the famous architect who reintroduced the concept of proportion in modern times? A. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, B. Eero Saarinen, C. Le Corbusier, and D. Frank Lloyd Wright. And our correct answer is letter C, Le Corbusier. So he introduced the concept of proportion in modern architecture through a system called the modular. The modular was a scale of proportions based on the human body, the golden ratio, and the Fibonacci numbers. Number 12. Beton brut is architectural concrete left unfinished or roughly finished after pouring and intentionally left exposed visually. You can clearly see the imprint made by the formwork left on the concrete as it hardens. Who pioneered the use of beton brut? A. Auguste Perry, B. Allison and Peter Smithson, C. Le Corbusier, and D. Frank Lloyd Wright. And our correct answer is letter C, Le Corbusier. So while both Auguste Perret and Le Corbusier are recognized for their pioneering work with reinforced concrete, Le Corbusier is more widely credited with popularizing and developing the concept of beton brut or raw concrete as a deliberate aesthetic choice, especially in the context of brutalist architecture. Although Perret also used raw concrete in his designs, he was more focused on the structural potential of concrete, while Le Corbusier embraced aesthetic qualities and expressive possibilities. Auguste Perret is an early innovator in using reinforced concrete, but he preferred more on refined finishes. Number 13. During the 1920s, Le Corbusier was known for promoting this architectural style. A. Brutalism, B. Neoclassical, C. White box architecture, and D. Deconstructivism. And our correct answer is letter C, white box architecture. So during the 1920s, Le Corbusier was a leading figure in the international style, known for his white box architecture. Buildings characterized by smooth white walls, flat roofs, ribbon windows, pilotis or stilts, and open floor plans, and minimal ornamentation. He later introduced brutalism, but it became prominent in the 1950s to 70s. 14. When was the UAP established? A. December 10, 1974, B. June 5, 1969, C. November 15, 1982, and D. None of the above. And our correct answer is letter D, none of the above. So the United Architects of the Philippines, or UAP, celebrates its founding anniversary annually on March 26. This date marks the organization's official registration with the SEC, or Securities Exchange Commission, in 1975. Following the merger of three legacy architectural societies, the Philippine Institute of Architects PIA, the League of Philippine Architects LPA, and the Association of Philippine Government Architects, or APGA. This unification aimed to consolidate the architectural profession in the Philippines. So kaya nag-unify yung tatlo kasi base doon sa 1973 na creation ng PRC law. Yung PD 223 nire-require doon na bawat profession ay iisa lang dapat ang professional organization. No? Kaya kailangan magbuo ng iisa lang na organization for architects. Kaya nabuhay nga yung UAP. Number 15, what year was the first UAP president inducted? A. 1975, B. 1965, C. 1989, and D. 2010. And of course, our correct answer is 1975. No? Norberto Nuque M. Nuque was appointed as the charter president in 1975. That is the inaugural year of the UAP. The first regular board with Jose V. Herrera as president was elected later that same year on December 12, 1975, marking the start of official leadership term. So, ibig sabihin, ang first elected president is Jose V. Herrera, while the charter president is Norberto M. Nuque. Number 16. Who is the architect of the Galaxy Theater? A. Luis Araneta, B. Juan Nakpil, C. Pablo Antonio, and D. Juan Arellano. And our correct answers, letter C, Pablo Antonio, a national artist for architecture. He was the architect of the Galaxy Theater in Manila. It is one of his notable Art Deco works alongside the Ideal Theater and Scala Theater. Number 17. The country where the current tallest building is located. A. United Arab Emirates. B. China. C. USA. D. Malaysia. And our correct answer is letter A, United Arab Emirates. The world's current tallest building is the Burj Khalifa, located in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Burj Khalifa has held this record since its completion in 2010, reaching an architectural height of approximately 828 meters. So this is the current list of the top 10 tallest buildings in the world as of 2025. Still, Burj Khalifa. Second is Merdeka 118 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Shanghai Tower in China. Makkah Royal Clock Tower in Saudi Arabia. And the Ping An Finance Center in Shenzhen, China. We also have the Lot World Tower in Korea, One World Trade Center in USA, the Guangzhou CTF Finance Center in China, the Tianjin CTF Finance Center also in China, and the CTEC Tower in China. Number 18. Year the Coconut Palace by Francisco Mañoso was built. A. 1950, B. 1980, C. 1865, and D. 1978. And our correct answer is letter D, 1978. So the Coconut Palace, also known as Tahanang Pilipino, was designed by Francisco Bobby Mañosa and was completed in 1980. It was built using local materials, especially coconut lumber and shells, to promote Filipino architecture and craftsmanship. Number 20. Architect with the dictum, architecture is the reaching out for the truth. A. Frank Lloyd Wright. B. Louis Kahn. C. Walter Gropius. And D. Michelangelo Buonarroti. And our correct answer is Louis Kahn. Number 20. Architect with the dictum, architecture is the art of how to waste space. A. Louis Kahn. B. Le Corbusier. C. Frank Lloyd Wright. And D. Philip Johnson. And our correct answer is letter D, Philip Johnson. Number 21. What year was Glass House by Philip Johnson built? 1931, B. 1949, C. 1919, and D. 1835. And our correct answer is letter B, 1949. The Glass House by Philip Johnson was built in 1949 in New Canaan, Connecticut. It is one of the most famous examples of modernist architecture in the United States, known for its minimal structure and transparent walls, and inspired by Miss Van der Rohe's Farnsworth House. 22. He was a German-American architect and was the last director of Berlin's Bauhaus, and then headed the Department of Architecture, the Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago, where he developed the Second Chicago School. A. Louis Kahn, B. Mies van der Rohe, C. Frank Lloyd Wright, and D. Walter Gropius. And our correct answer is letter B, Mies van der Rohe. He was a German-American architect who served as the last director of the Bauhaus before it was closed in 1933. He later moved to the United States and became the head of the architecture department at the Illinois Institute of Technology, or IIT, in Chicago. There, he was instrumental in developing the Second Chicago School, known for its minimalist steel and glass skyscraper. So, iba yung First Chicago School, no? Ito kay Louis Sullivan. Ito naman ay ang Second Chicago School kay Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Number 23, he was the architect of the 1929 German Pavilion. A. Mies van der Rohe, B. Louis Kahn, C. Walter Gropius, and D. Frank Lloyd Wright. And our correct answer is letter A, Mies van der Rohe. The architect of the 1929 German Pavilion, also known as the Barcelona Pavilion, designed for the International Exposition in Barcelona, Spain. It is one of the most iconic examples of modernist architecture, celebrated for its simplicity, open plan, and innovative use of materials like glass, steel, and marble. Number 24. Popularized the dictum architecture is invention. A. Mies van der Rohe, B. Oscar Niemeyer, C. Walter Gropius, and D. L.L. Saarinen. Okay. And our correct answer is letter B, Oscar Niemeyer. So today, he said, no, this is a complete quote. Today, architecture is invention. It isn't enough to just be rational. It must also be beautiful. 25. Architect of the Modern Art Museum in Brazil. A. Walter Gropius, B. I.M. Pei, C. Oscar Niemeyer, and D. L.L. Saarinen. And our correct answer is letter C, Oscar Niemeyer. He designed the Museo de Arte Moderna, or MAM, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Originally designed in 1948, the style is modernist with Niemeyer's signature curves and lightness. Number 26. The architect known for his love of the curved lines in his design and is considered to be one of the key figures in the development of modern architecture. A. Mies van der Rohe, B. Eero Saarinen, C. Frank Lloyd Wright, and D. Oscar Niemeyer. And our correct answer is letter D, Oscar Niemeyer. He was renowned for his love of curves, which he famously said were inspired by the mountains of Brazil, the waves of the ocean, and the body of a woman. He was a pioneer of modern architecture, especially in Brazil, and is best known for his work on Brasilia, the capital city. His designs often defied the rigid geometries of other modernist architects, favoring graceful, flowing forms. So 27. What year was Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas built under the design of Gabriel Formoso? A. 1933, B. 1945, C. 1906, and D. 1979. And our correct answer is 1979. So the BSP complex along Rojas Boulevard in Manila was designed by architect Gabriel Formoso and was completed in 1979. Despite his versatility, Formoso's design for the BSP is particularly associated with institutional brutalism, evoking power, permanence, and national identity. So 28. Architect with the famous dictum architecture must create buildings which are conceived as a total artistic expression. A. Felix Candela, B. Peter Behrens, C. Alvar Aalto, and D. None of the above. And our correct answers, letter C, Alvar Aalto. So 29. Who is the architect of the Farnsworth House? A. Le Corbusier, B. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, C. Frank Lloyd Wright, and D. Louis Sullivan. And our correct answers, letter B, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. So the Farnsworth House, located in Plano, Illinois, was designed by Mies van der Rohe in 1945 and completed in 1951. It is a landmark of international style architecture, known for its minimalist design, open plan, and use of glass and steel. 30. What architectural style did the architect apply in designing the house? A. Modern organic, B. Modern international, C. Minimalism, and D. Art Nouveau. And our correct answers, letter B, Modern International. So the Farnsworth House by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe is a prime example of the international style of architecture. While the house also reflects minimalist aesthetics, its architectural classification is firmly within the modern international style. Congratulations for completing the quiz. Now, count your total correct answers and determine your score category. If your rating is 15 or less, it is time for a more strategic review.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Enroll at Atlas CDC Review for a comprehensive prep for the Architecture Board exams. Message us now.